A battle is brewing in the Woodland Hills School District as parents and taxpayers demand accountability amid allegations of funds being mishandled. Tonight, they got the chance to share their concerns directly with the school board. Ricky Sayer was there and joins us live. Ricky.
And what we largely saw was community members who support the school board fighting back tonight, and they were joined by a very vocal school board vice president. Now, in defending the district, one speaker said that what we're seeing is, quote, trolling, misinformation, and chaos disguised as advocacy. It is not logical. It is not grounded in facts. So a reminder that much of this is over community members asking why their superintendent was placed on administrative leave. The district has said they were prohibited from commenting on it, but some parents think the superintendent was pushed out after they think that he found something that he wasn't supposed to find. They think it has to do with questions about board-approved expenditures and contract awards. We heard a lengthy statement tonight from the district's business manager defending some of their practices. Now, State Representative Abigail Salisbury is calling for a criminal investigation to take place. Some of the school board members took aim at that, with one saying that under no circumstances would she be sitting on their school board involved in criminal activities, telling us that what Salisbury did was criminal, calling her incompetent.
What Abigail Salisbury did in conjunction with other board members was unacceptable. It was irresponsible. She never contacted our school to find out what's going on with our finances. So now we're categorized as criminal. Everything you heard tonight by our business manager was spot on. You could come there. She doesn't want to follow the rules. A certain board member doesn't want to follow the rules. She thinks she's above and beyond that.
Now, the district solicitor said that if Salisbury had reached out, they could have provided her information to settle some of those concerns. Now, Lyons told us that something will eventually be revealed that will squash all of this and put everything to rest. She also said that we should look at a Trib article where the superintendent appeared back in 2019 to indicate that he'd been blackballed. Now, the board member that Lyons had referred to there is Darnika Reed. She is the one member of the board who has publicly raised her own concerns there. Was a contentious exchange tonight between Darnika Reed as well as the district's business manager over Reed not receiving information. She's wanted an accounting of the district's procurement cards. Reed said there was a lack of transparency, while the business manager said she had been totally transparent.
The public criticism that the district has faced recently is valid. The public should be concerned about the lack of transparency and the construction contracts in the district and bidding process. I believe wholeheartedly that the superintendent's a whistleblower, honestly.
Now, there were neighbors who were at this meeting, community members who do believe that there needs to be more transparency. These are folks who are not happy with their district, and they also included a student who sent a long letter that was read aloud, saying that, just indicating that and indicating that he believed that this was a great superintendent. Reporting live in Churchill, Ricky Sayer, KDKA-TV News.
Ricky, thanks.